Nice. It's Tim Byrne. Tim Byrne almost live down at PM Expo. Last day. It's Friday. Who's tired? Doug Beller, you're with Byrne On Demand, and you've been working the show all week with me, and you're new with Byrne On Demand.
I am.
But you're definitely not new in the industry.
I've been around for a little while. It's my second time around with you, Tim.
It is your second time, and you and I have known each other for
a long time. 30 years.
30 years, sure, right?
Very close, yeah.
I mean, you go back to my dad's time with Ray Byrne and Ray
Wynn. Ray Wynn and Byrne On Demand. Byrne Partners, that's right.
Back then. Byrne Partners. And you were with Ray a long time. You were with Abtec a long time. You were with Wilcox?
Wilcox for a little while, yeah. And then I was with JZAC for 3 years. I had my own company. Didn't work out, but, had to try it.
Yeah, entrepreneurship's a weird...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I tip my hat to the successful entrepreneurs, because it's a big job.
It's a big job. It's far in your head, and being in business for yourself, it's far more overwhelming than what they make it look.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to make
you're right. You're
trying
right.
to articulate that because I am one of those kooks, but I know that people have said to me, "You got it made. You're living the life." That's wow.
I have no idea the pressures you have every day to make sure that paychecks come in, that checks come in, and paychecks go out to every one of your employees. That's paying all your expenditures. It's a tough go, and it's a pressure.
And making sure your customers pay.
Yeah, and your family's getting fed, and they're taken care of.
And you still have time for your wife.
It's a big job. It's an incredible job. It's the pressure people do not realize.
And sleep at night and balance. It's funny, I have guys come up to me, and I'm worried about a recession in 2019, 2020.
You have mentioned that, yes.
And I have staff, a management staff, who will come up to me and say, we need to buy another boom, or we need to buy 3 more trucks, and I'm always like, hold out, ride the wave, or they'll go, we need to hire more staff. I don't like laying off people, by the way.
No.
And I actually would rather pay overtime to the staff than lay off. I know it sounds like an oxymoron for most business guys, because you go, no overtime, no overtime. We're looking at cameras here.
Yeah.
No overtime, no overtime. I'm actually okay with it. Everybody gets to make a little. Listen, when you're busy, you make hay when the sun shines.
That's right. Try to keep it together when it's not so busy.
Okay, so that's huge, right?
It's a big job.
I'm gonna let you know when back in 2010, when I got divorced and my son died and my brother Michael took off and went to work for E1. I had spent 5 years up to that point, not 20. 22 years up to that point with Stadia, and I made sure I had money tucked aside when I left, because it was also the beginning of the end of a recession in 2010. Mm-hmm. So 2008, 2009, it all fucking fell apart. In
so you put money away during the recession.
I knew in 2007 it was coming. I started tucking money away. I had to make sure that, and then when I left the company tailspinned. So not only did I leave after my son passed away, I left for 2.5, 3 years. My
company went downhill slightly.
Not slightly. My brother Michael was also on the go get him, kill him, and got, by the way, good or bad intentions. He was doing it because he needed to survive too.
Absolutely.
Started a business, push. Was there a bit of revenge in there to push me? Absolutely. And that, by the way, good sport. I think it's human. I think revenge is human. I think everybody needs to have a moral compass to decide how they're going to manage it.
Everybody has a little bit of an inside them, I believe.
Don't we all?
A little bit, for
just
sure.
Make sure you don't, listen, at the end of the day, don't act on it, because revenge is a dirty game that if you're going to dig one grave.
You're going to hurt somebody every time.
If you're going to dig one grave, dig 2.
Yeah.
You're going to go down with it eventually, right?
Yeah. You don't need to be bad-mouthing or meaning to anybody in life. It's not worth it.
Midway through my 2 years off, trying to figure out who I was, I had 3 technicians' dads call me.
3 technicians' dads?
Dads.
Wow.
Actually, one of them still works for me. I don't think I ever told him that his father, I'm not going to mention now, but I don't think I ever told him that his father called me.
Only a father can understand it.
3 fathers called me. They didn't call me to have empathy for the death of my son. When I had left, I told my CFO at the time, keep everybody paid for 40 hours a week. Do not let anybody go. Use all the cash reserves to pay the payroll. Now, I did this in silence. This wasn't broadcasted to the staff. I didn't say shit to anybody.
But I'm sure they were starting to get worried after you'd been gone a while. And they can
Oh,
staff can see the decline in business right away before anybody, right?
And remember, Michael Byrne, who was running E1, literally came and raped and pillaged staff. Come with me. I am the new beginning of time. I'm better. And I got it. So staff left, right? Because I left, people got scared. Then he said, my doors are open, and we're excited and new and fancy and blah, blah, blah. People ran.
And he's there for oversight, and you weren't for oversight.
Right? Yeah. Totally. So, but about 20 months into my absence, I had 3 dads call me, all spontaneously, like not planned, just in the evening, and they call up and they go, I'm Jim. Jim was one of them, father, and I'm Connor's dad. And I go, hi, how are you?
What can I help you with?
Like really weird. Those are weird phone calls,
yeah.
Right?
I've never had a staff member's parent.
Others, right?
Parent of any kind
call you, right? So I get a call and he goes, I want to thank you so much for everything you've done this last 2 years. And I was like, pardon? He goes, I know that nobody noticed it, but I know you're not there, and I know the company's in a tailspin. And I'm like, pardon? He goes, guys are going home early.
Never went home early before.
But they aren't going with less of a paycheck. And he said, you're still paying everybody. And I said, I'm not sure how you're doing that. But he said, and I'm not sure if anybody else is noticing it, but my son's paycheck, my son's job, everybody's still working, and I know you're having a problem. Now, ironically, his dad is retired now. His dad was a property manager and said, I'm going to make sure you guys get whatever work I have.
To help you out to get everything back to normal.
To make sure it stays. But he said, I'm really impressed you did that. I had 3 of those phone calls.
That's amazing.
Okay, really weird, right?
Yeah.
Not from the guys. I never heard it from the guys. By the way, I never broadcasted in the office that I was in.
Putting the reserves away, using the reserves.
Yeah, and people say buy a building, go do this, move the money, get ready for retirement. And I, honestly, by 2014, we had blown so much money that my accountants called and said, okay, you need to go back to work.
Or else we're going to be out of business.
It's all going to end. And you can only pay everybody to do nothing
so long,
and you have to go back to work.
Absolutely.
But 2013, he said, go back to work. Is this show, out of all the shows you've been to, is this show like good, bad, better, worse, score out of 10, best show, top 10 shows, top 5?
Well, with the traffic we had,
sure.
I would say number 1 show I've ever been to. It was the simplest marketing thing I've ever seen. The contacts that we've made here, myself and my fellow colleagues, we're going to land some work out of this show. If we follow up with it the way we're supposed to, and we need to make sure that they do that. Maybe not next week when everyone's getting 1,000 emails. Maybe the week after.
It's really hard to get people to follow up. Yeah.
We have had this conversation, and
you agree?
I do agree. It's a trained process that you have to go through.
Really disciplined to do it.
You have to be disciplined. You have to lay it out and then follow it up.
It's I've often, because the guys are young, I tell them follow up is like meeting a girl on a Saturday night at a bar.
Yeah.
She hands you the phone number, right? She goes, here's my phone number, call me. And you get this phone number and you don't call it for 4 weeks.
You've lost that.
There's no way.
Who are you? What bar were we at?
Yeah, who are you? What are you talking about? I'm already married, or whatever. I'm engaged now. I've got a boyfriend.
Yeah, you missed the shot.
I think when you pick up somebody's business card or you get somebody's phone number and you wait 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Yeah, no, it's too long.
Or you text them randomly or email them randomly. So you email them on Monday. Mm-hmm. You're right. I think that is the most impersonal thing you could possibly do with somebody who
you're trying to get business from and build a relationship with.
Well, and the funny, right? You're trying to make a relationship with them, and they took the dignity and the trust to hand you a business card, hoping that you're not going to abuse the shit out of it.
Absolutely, and they don't want you to abuse it. Like we had lots of people on the show. I asked them, you don't mind if I scan? We had talked about business. You mind if I scan? You know what? I don't want all the emails. I said, listen, I'm not going to email you until the week after next. I can tell you that. Because I know next week you're just going to sit and delete emails from this show.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, and I tell the staff all this all the time, and I chewed people out in my office for this, that an email is only receipt of a conversation you've already completed.
Absolutely.
And when I go to a restaurant, I've never had the waiter or waitress hand me the bill first and then start to talk to me.
It's always better to have the conversation, live talk, and then send an email out, and then follow it up after.
Yeah, I don't like people. when you email me, my email says, I'm not going to read this, please call me. Because if it's really, really, really important, oh, look at all your cords. If it's really, really, really important, you should call anyway.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think that when you reach out to clients, it should be it feels like you devaluated yourself when you send an email. I feel like you're making yourself not important because you've lined yourself up with all the other commonalities of business.
Yes, everyone does it.
You know, I don't email my friends. When's the last time you emailed your best friend?
No.
Okay, so
we'll text to see if they're free, and then we call.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
You're around, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not texting your best friends, you probably shouldn't be texting your best clients.
I agree with your theory. I believe your theory is going to fall further and further from the realm of reality with the newer generation coming up that would rather text.
So what I do? So let's talk social.
And I mean overall in society.
Let's talk social media for a second. You're right. So I think that social media is. I think that we haven't really seen we're only in the beginning of a technological revolution where we haven't seen what we're about to see. We can't even predict what we're about to predict. We talk about the millennials, people under 30 years of age that are texting and interacting with social media more than interacting like we are right now.
Absolutely.
Ironically, though, that we're on YouTube right now because it's a much easier way for your client base to get to know you in mass.
Absolutely.
This is much better than sending out a mass email.
Oh, I would agree with that. I would agree with that 100%.
Totally. You can either send out an email that says, hey, I'm really glad I saw you at the show. Hope we can talk soon, blah, 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 blah. Or you can sit here and people can really figure out who you are, what you are, understand your personality, your demeanor, your stature, your humor, and really make a decision whether they're like-minded with you and whether they want to engage you.
So how long in the future do you see until we're sitting, instead of having an email, we're sitting in front of our computer doing a video recording, and then you're sending that out to a customer versus just typing it in?
So what I see coming very shortly, so Stadia and Byrne do this technology called Wendy, and Wendy, all the quotes are photo-driven. So it's kind of like a Wayfair, and it's really unique to...
It's pretty neat, actually.
Unique to the construction business. So you can actually see the ladder we use, the drill we use, the closure we install, the piece of glass. You can see pictures of every single line item.
That must have been a lot of work putting that together.
Like Wayfair, right? Like Amazon.
Yeah.
And we still send it in a form of a PDF, which is still really old-fashioned. PDFs are way by the wayside, but a lot of clients want PDFs, so that's okay. Wayfair doesn't make a PDF. When you get a Wayfair bill, you just see all the icons and the lineups all going all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to see an attached PDF.
Yeah.
It's funny, we have clients that tell me, we only accept PDFs. And I feel like saying, and you are so 2007. PDFs are so old technology. Wayfair, Amazon, PayPal, none of these companies use PDF receipts. Nobody. It comes in the body of the email. There's a reason why I'm digressing, but I'm going to explain why they don't use PDFs. The storage of a PDF
takes up a lot of space, I bet.
Right. And the storage of an email takes up a lot of space.
Absolutely.
So they blended the two together, and it takes up half the space. And you go, well, it isn't that much, Tim. Every IT guy will text me and type me on the thing and say it. It is when you're talking about hundreds of millions of transactions.
If you're an Amazon company, that's a lot of space, a lot of data area.
So you do the expense with Stadia or Byrne on Demand. The expense was very little the first year. RevCan says, though, in the IRS, that you got to keep 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 7 years later, you're talking about 15, 20, just for our little business, 15, 20,000 a year for our little businesses to have the storage for 7 years worth of data. Can you only imagine an American Express, an Amazon, a Wayfair?
They're going to have their own facilities just to store their stuff.
Millions and millions of dollars of holding it in the cloud.
Yep.
Storage. They just can't afford it, so they cut out the two. And it's only a matter of time. And the only reason they're doing it, the only reason they're not converting now is because they gain the ability to stall payment. So the reason why
Explain that to me, would you?
Well, the reason why companies want you to, we have 2 or 3 of our clients that want us to mail their invoices to them.
Oh, yeah.
They want to stall payment. We have 3 or 4 of our clients that only want PDFs because they want to stall payment.
Yeah,
I
got you.
They have to print it out, and I have clients say, we'll print it out. I'm like, what the? Why would you print out, by the way,
anything?
Anything. The closest thing we have to paper at Byrne On Demand is a sticky note.
And it's recycled paper, I think.
Yeah, it's 100% recycled paper. But we don't print out invoices. Our vendors, they send us bills, and we're like, do not send me in mail. You email that to me.
I haven't touched a piece of paper since I started working at Byrne.
No.
Not one.
No, and you wait. When Wendy switches over in January 1st, you'll be like, I will never see a piece of paper. I won't even look at my email because Wendy manages the emails. You do your email inside
Through
Wendy,
Wendy.
So it stores the email related to the
job,
Wendy number, the job number,
project,
into that
whatever.
job. So going back to technology, so customers don't want PDFs because it helps them create bureaucracy. The problem really being is that accounts payable, accounts receivables, administrative jobs inside of offices are dying.
Yep.
They're going to disappear.
Once those PDFs are done with, those people won't be needed. It'll go directly into their system. It'll be done.
Stadia and Byrne come January. The technicians will be billing from site. We're going to have a real problem because what's going to happen now is that we don't expect our technicians to send work orders first and then the bill. We're going to go right to bill.
Well, you're going to save a big step there.
Holy shit. Oh, and
Yeah,
right
incredible.
to bill. And we're a small company, so we use QuickBooks. And not only are we going to be able to invoice directly to our client, we're going to upload it into QuickBooks immediately.
Yeah.
Even if the technicians make a 10% error, it is still a 10% savings on the administrative portion of that.
Yep.
And what I'd like to do is convert all my accounting people. I don't want to get rid of anybody.
No.
I want to
Convert them to a different field.
I want to convert them all to either IT specialists, network specialists, or I want to put them on the road and let them sell, let them become technicians, let them become field consultants. Alex Byrne, in the last 2 months, her job is converted from working inside the service center, taking service calls and uploading administrative paperwork, to being on site training technicians on technology.
Yeah, that's amazing.
How to use a smartphone better. I don't think jobs are going to disappear in the new economy. I think jobs are going to be created. The problem
is people have to be trained for those new jobs.
The problem is people are going to be scared of the change.
Absolutely. Well, watching Alex put all this together here,
totally right.
Like, I was very impressed. Like, she's a wizard at it. She's down there on her hands and knees with a skirt on, and she's ripping wires, putting them together.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you're not a wizard. You're not going to tell you? No. Sorry.
You're learning.
You're not stupid either. You care, which pushes you, and of course, because I'm an asshole.
He doesn't push you, though.
Internal caring pushes you to critically think, and you will not fail. When you care, you won't fail. When you care, actually, you don't give a fuck that you failed. You're going to get up, wipe off the dirt off your knees, and go again. That's what happens when you care. That's how you get the Wayne Gretzky's, the Tiger Woods. Yeah. That's how you get superstars, is people that get up from, not, oh my God, I fell, who can I blame? Not, oh my God, I fell, it must be the government's fault, or my parents, or I got some stupid blue ribbon, because I just participated. You get up and go, I made a mistake, I screwed up, and I'm going to try again. And I'm not going to give it that little train that could and all that shit. It's really relative to young people, and more young people need to stop and go, I don't want the blue ribbon, I want to win. It's a real change. That gave me goosebumps, because it's a real change in society's thinking. We've had 20 years of handing our kids blue ribbons.
Telling them they're great, getting a trophy for no reason at all.
For nothing.
For no reason at all, kids could get trophies.
You need your kid to fall on the ground, fail, and fuck up, and stand up and say, I want to try it again.
Yeah.
It's like learning how to ride a bike.
Absolutely. You got to get up and do it again.
Take the damn training wheels off and fall. Trust me, you only do it once. Okay, so go back to social media and what we were talking about. We were talking about billing.
Yep.
So I think that the art of communication is still there. I think what people are lacking is to understand that there is a evolution to a relationship, and you need to be consciously aware of that evolution. And I'll give you some examples. Elon Musk, he doesn't have email.
At all?
No, zero. So
you pick up a phone and call someone, that's it.
So you'll learn that your closest relationships are by phone.
Absolutely.
Your next closest relationships are by text message. In amongst that is applications like WhatsApp, and what's the Apple one? iMessage. So I use WhatsApp.
Well, next to personal. Personal is the best one.
My family talks by WhatsApp in a group.
Nice.
They're all connected.
Yeah.
The same way we do with everybody
with
else.
work.
Yeah. So, all my kids and everybody, my mom.
I love your mom.
My 77-year-old mother is in it, and by the way, she has no idea how to type, so she constantly does these voice recordings.
You know what? My mother-in-law just learned that, and she had never texted until she learned how to use the voice recognition button. And it was great. We were at my brother-in-law's for dinner.
She's talking to the
and
phone.
she's talking to her phone. And I'm looking at her and going, Grace, what are you doing? I just learned how to do this. I'm texting my granddaughter.
I love that.
It was
right?
82 years old.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I think that WhatsApp and text messaging becomes your second tier.
Yeah.
And third tier is email. You know.
I truly text
email,
friends.
Facebook, all that stuff.
I
Is
truly
third tier.
text friends way more than I text customers. I do text customers an awful lot,
Yep.
but the ones I have relationships with,
Right.
not new ones, I would probably not text too many new ones right off the bat.
And I break it down to social media groups for them.
Yep.
So they understand that the people on the telephone are your closest. That's your wife, by the way.
Yep.
Pick up the phone to your wife. And the WhatsApp and the text messaging second, you know, and the social media like Instagram and Facebook and email, which email is no better than those, are third and fourth and fifth tier.
Way down the line on personal.
So when they say they know somebody, and then by the way, the real top echelon of that relationship bridge is having dinner,
Face to face.
having them at your
Absolutely.
house on the weekend. That's the true
Going away on
relationship.
vacations with them, becoming friends.
And as much as corporate North America wants to crush that relationship, I've had this conversation with somebody who I won't bring up because their corporation will fire them. The necessity to know your client intimately and the necessity for your client to know you intimately takes you from good to great.
Yes. It's a big difference. Huge difference.
Clients would call me on the weekend to get things done, not the call center.
I've had it for many years, you're right.
Right. When I said to this person yesterday who we were talking to, I said, the better part of me knowing if you're my client and if I know you personally enough that I can pick up the phone or call you at home, if I don't have a good, and this is going to sound bad, by the way, and this is the same what your kids do, if your kids don't trust you or they're having a problem with you and they do something really, really bad, they'll lie and hide.
Yeah, they won't come out and sit down with you.
You go, okay,
They-
I'm pregnant,
Yeah.
or I wrecked a car.
They'll wait. They'll wait as long as they can.
Right. So imagine this: that a job goes bad. I would much rather have a relationship with somebody where I can pick up the phone and go, I don't want you to yell at me, but this job's gone bad. The glass broke, the thing's going to leak, we bought the wrong material, I need help to get out of this. So for everybody in listening, for your kid, right?
Yep.
When your kid, you need to have an open door policy enough and go, I don't care what you tell me, I'm not going to yell at you.
Yeah, you can come here anytime and you'll be secure and safe, and I'll help you. We'll work through the problem.
But when you have those close relationship with your client, it does give you the opportunity so that you can have dialogue back and forth, because it's not when things are going well that matters. It's
when they go downhill.
It's when things are going shit.
When you either have to bail the customer out, your friend, or your friend, the vendor, has to be bailed out.
And I'll tell you, for all of us arrogant, egotistical property managers, this works two ways. And this is going back many years ago, I had a client call me who said, can you help me find a job? By the way, I get told about new jobs coming up every day.
Yeah, I bet you do. You know a lot of people.
And the show
Yeah.
promotes people to come towards me and makes my social circle
People really like to talk on
a
it.
little longer. But they figure I know somebody who knows somebody. You know, you sit down with a Steve Eichelson or Dave from Cushman Wig. Like, you sit down with enough big people and people go, can you help me? Can you get me where I go? A guy about 10 years ago calls me up and says, can you help me? And I said, you can come to my office and use it whatever you want. I said, I'll help you, no problem. He said, thanks, I really appreciate it. And I said, you realize that the last 10 years, you wouldn't take my call and you wouldn't help me advance my business.
At all.
You wouldn't help me if I got in shit. You wouldn't take my phone call at 6 o'clock at night.
But now I'll help you, no problem.
I believe in turning the other cheek. I also believe in being self-aware that we all live in this world and it's pretty fucking small, and we all need to stop and reach out and grab somebody else's hand and help them when they've fallen.
Absolutely. Helping someone is a
don't
great thing.
And don't think you're that big and that great that you can't.
Oh, you better never ever think that. I have a young daughter who plays university soccer, great athlete, honor student. I never found out till this year that she's been going to the food bank for 3 years.
Your daughter?
My daughter, donating her time 2 to 3 times a week. It was a great feeling, you know, and that kid's got everything. She's got everything. Nobody, yeah, great. Nobody on her soccer team knew. Nobody at her school knew.
How'd you find out?
On her last weekend, she invited her mom and I to go and help.
That's cute.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
it was beautiful.
Humbling, right?
It was very humbling.
Yeah.
Very.
Never
So we
know.
did. We went and we helped, and that's how we found out how long she had been working there. She knew everybody. She knew all the.
What's your wife's name?
All the Lynn. Lynn.
How long have you been married for?
34 years coming up.
How many kids you got?
3.
What ages?
I got a boy 28, I got a girl 26, and a girl 21.
All living at home or all moved
No,
out?
no. They're all.
I love them, but
They've all got their own places. Yeah.
all close or all far away? Or
The little one's in North Bay.
the little one.
The little one's in North Bay. My middle daughter's downtown Toronto. We're just across the road, actually, at WSIB.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she's-
Simcoe Place.
At Simcoe Place,
Simcoe
yeah.
Place. Simcoe Place. Yeah.
And my son lives up near us, and he's taking a locksmithing course right now.
Is he really?
He just got a job in the field yesterday, actually.
Who's he working for?
He's working for
Craig's Lock. That's pretty big up our way.
No.
Craig's Lock.
He does those expanded grills. Oh, this is free advertisement for him. I can't believe I can't remember.
Come on, let's do it. This is your moment.
Yeah, this is it.
He's gonna look like a rock star at his own company if you can remember the company.
I
name.
know, isn't that bad?
You can
think about it.
We don't have Goat TV today, so you can come back
oh,
on the air
okay.
whenever you
Let's
want.
see that. I'll look that up.
Do you find the pressure of work today the same as it was 10 years ago for you? I mean, because you've started a few new careers, a
Yeah.
few new jobs. Each time you've started one,
It's tough when you start a new job. There is
Especially in
pressure.
sales.
Yeah, there is pressure. Thank God, I actually respected all my customers. Either they were friends or they were acquaintances, but I always had great respect for my customers. Can do lock.
can do lock.
That's it.
What's your son's name?
Tyler Beller.
Tyler Beller, can do lock. That's a plug for sure.
Yeah, that's a great one. Thank you, Tim. There's a lot of pressure when you leave a company to go to another one. Perseverance is the most important. Having customers that really like you and actually understand, when you tell them what happened, they actually understand because you've been honest for the last 20 years, last 15 years, last 10 years. You've never lied to them ever. But lying to somebody is just the wrong thing, especially as a salesperson.
Yeah.
You can lie once, but you won't lie again because you won't be doing any business with those people.
Yeah.
So I've been very fortunate that way, and I usually can take the strengths of the companies I'm going to work for on customers that they've already had and usually build those up. Apart from what the company's already done, when someone is in a small company, most of these were small companies that I worked with, they start to let things lag and not follow through on them. They don't follow up with their number one customer. Like, it just seems hard to believe to me that people take things for granted so easily in this business.
Well, there definitely is an evolution, though, in entrepreneurship where you go from hunting and killing to cooking.
Absolutely.
and you forget to hunt.
Yeah. If you forget to hunt in this business, in
And
sales,
it
you're
dies,
done.
right? Next thing you know, you realize you don't have anything to cook, and hunting is a skill, and you have to then go back and rehone those skills. And the problem is you're taking 2 steps backwards. That's why you have hunters, salespeople.
Yeah. You, as a salesperson, you can never lose that hunting instinct.
We can catch Byrne on Demand at 647-948-8181. What's your cell number? Oh, your cell number was just there.
My cell number is 416-771-2828. And my email is
say that slower.
416-771-2828. Sorry about that.
It's all right. I wouldn't have been able. I'm dyslexic. I wouldn't have been all right. What's your email?
Email's dougb@byrneondemand.ca.
Dougie, thank you so much for coming on the
Tim,
show. I
thanks
appreciate
very much
it.
for having me. I
Enjoy.
appreciate it.
Make sure you get rid of all those Byrne notepads. I don't want to take them back to the shop. This is Tim Byrne. Tim Byrne almost live. It is day 3 of PM Expo. Dylan, you're fired. Do the dance, Dylan. Do the dance. We're gonna turn the camera around, and you're all gonna do the dance.
Go for it, guys. Go for it.
Come on, Dylan. You can do it. We're gonna turn it around. Jason, Megan loves you, and she got rid of Robert. You're on Timber. Oh, there you go. Attaboy. That's Andy Rutledge right there.
Shake it, Andy.
Don't worry, the only people watching is my mother and my wife.
And my girlfriend.
That's
And
it.
his girlfriend.
And my girlfriend. Oh, no. I love you, Allie.